date today? It's the 12th, isn't it? About right. 12th of the 11th, 2017. Kids have discovered something pretty chilling on the riverbank apparently. I'm just going down to have a look at it right now. Not too bad, get you not cutting it out. Where'd you get over?
Jumped it. Isn't that electric?
Come do it down here guys, just in case they're looking.
Is the top one electric? Is that only top bearing? To the off.
It's a little bit harder to jump this now, we've fixed the fence up, so... Hey? Hey? I've just crossed the fence from the neighbour's property walking along the riverbank. And this here is a little sort of flat section of ground that runs between the main property, neighbour's property up there, and the riverbank. Very well secluded. I actually think an ideal spot for something to run up and down here without being seen. Which has been my theory for a while. There's a bit of traffic, something's coming through here, but it could be sheep. Keep an eye out for footprints, guys. Huh? Keep an eye out for some footprints. Neighbour's water pump. Hey? So these guys must come down and start that at night, eh? Huh? No way I'd be down here. Up? Yep. Okay, you guys go. Another little section through here. Beautiful place to hide if you wanted to remain hidden from the houses up on the top of the properties. The dense lantana. How far away is it now? Hey? Oh, this is where that river turns, so this is still their block here. Yeah. Got a fair bit of river frontage, don't they? So watch out for snakes, guys. So when you say the big log, what do you mean?
Oh wait, I
don't think you've taken me to the big log before.
It's where we found those like little dog footprints. Do you remember that?
The what?
When we found those little dog footprints?
Yep.
It's like up that forest thing.
Okay. Keeping an eye out for some unusual footprints, although the kids have walked through here a bit this afternoon, so we won't have scrubbed anything out. Lots of animal movement here. Trails. But predominantly the sheep stay up on the property, so there's something that definitely comes through here regularly. Used to be our dogs many moons ago. It's a nice little tight little bush to get through. Is this it here? Holy dooly. This is a nice far rat. Take a look at that. This is like the same as the gauntlet on the other side of the river, Keeg. It's the end of the creek. It runs into the river back there. And apparently there's something pretty... Oh crap, getting too old. I know. Sore back, sore knee. Hey?
Sheephead's got further, I think.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, there.
Whoa.
I asked you if it stunk and you said no, Keegan. What? Did you?
Like you
Okay.
can see there's sheepheads and all that up
So we've got sheep carcasses up here.
there. And sheepheads.
A whole dumping ground. Look out, guys. Oh, look at the maggots eating their way through that.
There's guts right at your feet.
And look at, there's like sheepheads up there. You see that?
Oh, guts all through there.
Ew.
There's maggots.
The maggots.
Head's been
Ripped off. All
ripped
the head's
off.
up there.
Oh, it's been ripped in half. Oh no.
so the neck's been, the head's been ripped off the neck.
Well, the head's there.
Yeah, I
There's-
know.
There's like,
Two of the legs are
there's
gone.
like heads
See?
go
Like
all
half
the
the
way.
head's gone.
Look out, look out, look out.
Guys, all the heads like go up the bush there. And they're
Holy crap. So that's been decapitated or ripped off.
and all the heads.
That head's there's been taken off too. 'Cause
Is that a kangaroo?
look at it, and the spine's just been
What is
pulled to bits.
this?
Look at that. It's
Blood castle wet.
this spine's pretty much past the rib cage. That spine's pretty much intact.
But look at all those heads up there.
That there,
There's like
Oh,
tons.
look at them now.
that spine's been pulled apart.
Feel all the heads.
Holy crap. Holy crap. There's 1, 2, 3, oh, 4 heads up there. There's
It's a pathway going up.
1, 2 there, 3. There's at least
Are they all?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say, oh, who knows? There could be, I count at least 7 heads up there. Plus that one there, 8,
Are they all
9.
lambs?
Yeah.
Uh,
They've got horns.
they're fairly young though, because those horns aren't very well
Is
developed.
that a sheep? Is it?
Yeah, it is a sheep. Holy crap.
Look at the maggots. How fresh is that?
It's been there for a little bit, but I don't know how long it takes to decompose with the maggots. Probably not too long. They'll just get in there and
Yeah, look how many there are.
put it this way, something's coming here. I mean, what a place to do it. I mean, it's in the bottom of a creek, tucked up in Lantana. Banks on either side that would be, what,
What film Caleb commented?
5 metres below the surface of the paddocks. Big trees around everywhere. I mean, no one would come in here in a million years, at least at night. Now, if it was wild dogs,
Well, do they bring the...
would they? I can't say that they'd bring them all in the same place, would they? I don't know. How often do we see wild dogs? We don't. A fox isn't going to do that. Not like a fully grown sheep. No way.
They especially put all the heads up there.
Far out. That is a grizzly find, guys. Oh dear. 1, 2. Wouldn't mind stepping up and having a closer look, but it's all gross. Oh, there's another couple further up.
More heads?
Yeah, I don't know. There's.
There's
Huh?
one down there.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I reckon there's at least 10.
We should like cut our way to our house.
No, I'm not going through that land. So they wouldn't go up any further. I'd say what they've done is They've grabbed a sheep from whether it's that neighbour on that side or Brad and Sarah's here, and they've just dragged it up the creek and just tucked themselves in here and had a nice little feast, whatever it is. So process of elimination, what's going to do that, guys?
Grizzly bear.
Whatever it is, it's got to be something fairly big to be able to drag a sheep. A wild dog's not going to drag a sheep from the creek down there up here.
There's also no dog prints.
There was no prints at all, really. So whatever it is, has come in fairly quietly. Can you see any prints down there?
No.
Everyone else.
There's like never prints.
Then again, this could have been done before the last rain, which means the footprints would be washed out anyhow. Because the last rain, when was the last substantial rain we had?
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, I reckon they've washed the prints away. It would enough to run through the creek down there. Oh, this is so secluded. I didn't even know this was here. Wow. So, I'm ruling out wild dogs and ruling out fox.
They don't have any other.
No other explanation. Based on
Not like we live in America.
our experiences and what we've seen, I would say Yowie is a very high possibility. I mean, that's just like a killing field, like a dumping ground.
And that sud's ripped in half.
Like head's torn off the spine. Spine sort of pulled into pieces there, like that one's been snapped in the middle and almost torn to shreds, and then it's separated from the head. So you got the head there, separation, section of spine, separation, then another section of spine. Far out. That is absolutely chilling. Oh, there's another head there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10.
Or like more.
Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be stuck here at dark. We've still probably got at least half hour. But unless we want to be getting here when the sun goes down, I suggest we probably head back, eh? That's an interesting find, guys. When I say good find, it was well spotted.
It was my dog eyes, so.
Your dog eyes, eh?
Yeah.
It's not you that's coming down and bringing them up, is it?
Huh?
The bird is making
Now there's a bird head.
Oh, hang on, hang on. Oh.
Poor little birdie.
What a bear. Bird decapitated. Oh, pig, you're right. Yeah.
I wonder what's more up there.
We went up there.
Oh no!
What? You sat on the gut?
Oh hell no! Oh yuck!
Turn around.
Oh mate! Yeah!
Go and jump in the river, Keeg.
Jumping in the river! Oh yuck! No! Oh, it's on my phone too!
So the very first sheet that I'm looking at, right there, the very first carcass is at head height. I'm standing at the base of the creek here, and the creek goes uphill that way. So it extends, I'd say, eventually all the way into the national forest. This is like a gauntlet, which there's a similar creek on the other side which does this. This may be the highway that they come through that I initially thought, but I think they come from a number of different directions. But I think whatever prints might have been here have been washed out from the rains that came through a couple of days ago. Not major rains, but enough to get a creek flowing. I would go up and have an exploration in there, but it leads into the neighbour's property eventually, so it's getting dark, so I'll leave that for another day. But that is pretty grisly. Something coming through there. Whatever it is, grabbing the sheep, dragging them in here. snapping the spines, so pulling the heads off. There's at least 10 carcasses up there. Now, I don't know, my understanding of the way a wild dog behaves, it doesn't drag it back to the same spot and then drag it uphill. If I was a dog having a feast, I'd be just killing it and doing it down here. There's something really almost planned about that. It's actually a bit chilling. Alright. Hey? Oh, Keegan's a bit of a germaphobe, so. See, what a nice little entry point. See, this is similar to the gauntlet on the other side of the river over here. So it could be coming down through there, up through here. It could be going up to the creek,
And then going
further up that way. Fortunately, it hasn't taken our sheep yet.
There's more sheep here.
Yeah, I know, and I guess they wander down to the... But they keep them up in their pens at night, so... How could it...
I guess we're just lucky.
I don't think it'd be Brad and Sarah's.
Okay. They look exactly like their sheep, though, like Suffolk.
Yeah, but if they keep them up in the pen, either they're going up and stealing them out of the pen...
I think sometimes like some of the sheep do go up in the pen because like they can't get them.
Oh, okay.
Like that's happened.
Maybe they get caught down. Yeah, true. True. Oh, crap. Oh, getting too big, too old, too sore. Between my sore back and my sore knee, I'm struggling.
He's gonna have like a 50-hour shower now.
So how close did you get before you came back and grabbed us the first time, Jane?
We were too scared, so we ran.
You sort of saw it and took off, did you?
Well, I was like, look, there's a dead animal.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see if there was a sheep or not. And then we came back and got Keegan, and then Keegan, yeah, and then we came back to the boat.
Fair enough. No signs of prints down here, but that's not unusual. When we find prints... Is that one of our footprints there? It's not that big.
Yeah, I think probably do.
It's not unusual not to see prints there. The prints we do find, there's only one of usually. You elusive buggers.
I love being in the middle. So now that's taken from the back and you don't see.
Such a good hiding spot through here. Just watch that, it's got some decent things on it. Ah, crap. Well, no wonder we see eyes and that over here all the time. I think they spend more time at...
We always see them over there as well.
Yeah, I think they spend more time on Brad and Sarah's block than they do here. Oh, there's so much cover over here. When did you say, Ben?
Oh, so like a few years ago, when you guys had the canoe.
We still do have it. Just like
No, before it had the holes and everything. We would be paddling down this way,
Yeah.
and I said I thought I saw a gorilla.
Was that before or after we started?
Before.
Before we started having encounters out here.
Yeah.
How far away was it?
It was in the bushes. I only saw like
On this side of our fence.
on like a bit down.
How big was it?
It was like big, like gorilla size. Sorry, I thought it was a gorilla.
Did you just get a glimpse, or did you have a?
I thought I got a glimpse, like, so I looked at it and like I just looked like just like I thought it was just like a tree or something.
Okay, did you see it move?
It like stood still, but like it stood like that, but like
Sort of froze when you
yeah, like
saw
froze,
it?
just like looking directly towards, like facing the opposite direction.
Okay. Was that like in broad daylight or at dusk or?
It was just before dark, so like it was
Pretty dark, like dusk sort of thing.
only a tiny bit of sunlight.
Yeah. It'd be unlikely they'd be out in full daylight. Wow. Another adventure for the day. Get lost in the national park yesterday and what's up, Caleb? Yeah, that's a bit of a walk, that, eh? That'd be a good few hundred metres from our fence.
There's someone riding a horse.
Is there?
Yeah.
I think it's Sarah. So it's Friday the 17th of November today. We found, or the kids found the sheep carcasses on Sunday. And so I've had a few days to have a good long think about it, and like we always try to do, we try and play devil's advocate as much as we possibly can, thinking of all the possibilities of what might have done that to those sheep carcasses. Not too many possibilities that seem logical to us at this stage. The options are that we see is one, it's some form of animal. Secondly, it's human. Thirdly, they were washed downstream by the flood, or a flood at some stage. We did have floods earlier on this year, as you would have seen on one of my previous videos. In terms of animals, when you're thinking, at least in Australia, the types of animals that could do something like that I can think of, we don't have any large predators as such like they do in other countries. We don't have grizzly bears, we don't have, well, when I say we don't have big cats, there's been a number of sightings in Australia of big cats, but as far as I'm aware there's been none around here. Smaller predators, foxes. There's no way a fox is going to be big enough or strong enough to be dragging a large sheep like that along the riverbank, then up 6 to 8 feet minimum, up a creek bank to eat and then dump the carcasses. Foxes go for small animals like chickens and lambs. They don't go for near fully grown, sheep. These sheep appeared to be, to me, young rams. The horns had obviously grown to some degree, but they weren't fully grown, so they were young rams, I think. So I eliminated foxes immediately. There's no way a fox is going to do that. They're just not big enough. They just don't target big sheep. They certainly might scavenge later on after the initial animals dump them there, obviously. The other option is wild dogs. There has supposedly been sightings along the riverbank and across the properties around here of wild dogs. I've never seen them. I've seen neighbours' dogs wander from time to time, but I've never seen sort of wild packs of dogs run along the riverbank or across our property in any way. In any case, again, it seems unlikely. Even a medium, even large dog, I can't see how even a large dog is going to be dragging large sheep carcasses, first of all, from the place where the sheep was obviously taken, along the riverbank, up the creek bed, and then not only that, but to drag it up on the creek bank where they were located, which again, like I said, was, you know, vertically, it's a vertical rise of a minimum of 6 feet to where the first carcasses were located, up to probably 8 to 10 feet, where the next batches of carcasses were. So I just cannot even see a big dog doing that. And why bring them to the same place? It's just not my understanding of the way a large dog, or even any dog for that matter, would operate. Seems like there's some systematic sort of process by which, you know, these sheep are taken and then brought back. To me, they clearly haven't been dumped there at the same time. All those carcasses there are various stages of decomposition, from the ones that are least decomposed, which are the closest ones, the two down the front. Even though they were significantly decomposed, the ones further up were pretty much just sort of a little bit more decomposed, and then from what I could see, the ones right up the top were pretty much just skulls and skeletons. So, which then leads me to rule out the flooding option, because if it was they were washed down in the flood and dumped in that same spot, which is extremely unlikely that, you know, 10 minimum of 10 carcasses would be dumped in the one spot after a flood. They would all be at very similar stages of decomposition, and, you know, you'd be seeing sheep carcasses spread over a much wider area, not in one really small localised spot. So I can't consider the flooding option as a legitimate option. The only other option it leaves, you know, from a logical point of view, would be humans. Humans taking a sheep for some reason, taking the sheep there and having a strange old feast, whether it's some sort of satanic ritual or what. I couldn't understand why a human being would be doing that, unless it was some homeless person just looking for a feed. But why take full-grown sheep and then, you know, there's no fire there. What are they eating the meat raw? It's seriously just not making logical sense. I'd certainly welcome feedback, guys, if you got any other logical ideas of what you think might have dumped those carcasses. You know, we're talking about carcasses that have had their heads snapped from the neck, so they were sort of hanging loose, hanging free from the neck. That, to me, they'd clearly been snapped off. One of them had sections of the spine seemingly missing, and then further up there was just, you know, another couple of decomposed carcasses, and then even further up there was a whole clump of skulls all clamoured together. And look, there could have even been more than 10. I could only make out, you know, up to 10 carcasses based on what I could see underneath the lantana foliage there. So there could have been more. I mean, there could have been more dragged further up under the foliage. Who knows, there could be 20 carcasses up there for all I know. So obviously that leads me to the final option, which is the one that I'm obviously favouring. Otherwise I wouldn't have been putting this video up. And I don't post videos unless I've done a fair degree of devil's advocacy, if you like, or reflection on the possibilities that it could be other than a Yowie. But I really, based on our experiences, based on what we've seen, based on what we've heard, etc., 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 over many years, it seems, the dots seem to line up that this has been caused by a Yowie. I mean, the section that or the area where these carcasses were found is an area where we get a heck of a lot of eye shine at night. We probably get more eye shine over there. Like, I'm talking about what I consider Yowie eye shine over in amongst the lantana bushes and the trees on the neighbour's property, much more than what we get on our side of the fence. So I don't know, I sort of have a bit of a thought that that area over on the neighbour's property is a bit of a nighttime hangout for these creatures. It's certainly not their home in terms of where they hang out during the day, but at night it seems to be, assuming that those carcasses are what they're fed on, that it seems to be a place where they go to feed at night. So they come in from the forest, come in for a feed, they take a sheep. I believe they've been taking our chickens, even though they haven't taken any of our sheep as yet. We've had chickens taken without a trace, no feathers, nothing, just gone. They come up for a feed, they hang out, they do their curiosity thing, and then sort of the wee hours of the morning before the sun comes up, they take off back to the national forest somewhere. At least that's my theory. Seems to make sense to me. I can't think of any other options. If you've got any other ideas, guys, welcome your feedback. Put comments down the bottom so we can all read it. And yeah, give me your feedback. I would certainly like to hear what you think. So at this stage, I've got nothing more to say about this. Maybe we might examine it a bit more down the track, but look, it was a pretty grisly, sort of chilling discovery. It freaked the kids out when they found it, and yeah, just the location where these bodies were found. You know, it was tucked up in a creek which was surrounded by trees, surrounded by thick thickets of lantana, branches and twigs growing over or fallen over the creek from the end furthest away from the river, so access is very difficult. Oh, that's the other option I considered that it may have been, was that it was a bit of a dumping ground for our neighbours, for when their sheep died, they just go and dump it there. But there's a couple of reasons why I don't believe that's a viable option either. Is that after we got back from finding these carcasses, I actually rang up the next door neighbours and I asked them, had they been missing a heap of sheep? Because like I said, there's at least 10 carcasses surely. I mean, the neighbours probably have, I would estimate, maybe 50 head of sheep, maybe a little bit more. And I'm pretty sure they would know if they'd that many sheep had gone missing. They bring their sheep up at night, and they keep a fairly close eye on them. I rang the next door neighbour and she told me that as far as they knew, they hadn't lost any sheep, that all their sheep were accounted for. The other reason why I don't believe it was the neighbour's dumping ground is because the access down there is really limited. It just would not be viable. It's just not an easy way of dumping a sheep's body. The only way you could get down there is by dragging it all the way around where you saw us walk, and then up the creek bed, and then dumping him up there. And from what I understand of the neighbours, whenever any of their animals die, they actually bury them. They do not just drag them and dump them on the riverbank. So I've ruled that option out as well. So to me, it really only leaves the Yowie option. May or may not be the truthful one. I mean, I'm going to say the truthful one, but the reality of the situation. But from what I've seen and experienced and come to understand, it's the only one that I consider to be the most likely. Anyhow, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.